Hello, and welcome to our discussion of research essentials for students in the College of Safety and Emergency Services. Today, I am going to give you a brief overview of the library resources and services that are available to you. I am also going to provide you with a few of the strategies that I use on a daily basis when searching for information in the library. Let's take a look at the CSU Library's homepage, shown here. There are multiple places on this page where you can start your search for library resources. One way to start is by typing your keywords into our Discovery search box here. The Discovery search box searches most of our databases at once, and this can be very helpful in cutting down the number of individual searches that you have to do, especially in the beginning when you are just getting started. But even though we now have a Discovery search box, that still doesn't mean that you should ignore single databases. Choosing a specific database related to your program of study may give you more focused and relevant results, and it certainly will give you fewer results, which is often helpful for browsing. To find the library's individual databases, click the Databases button, which redirects to an A to Z list of databases to which the library subscribes. You can use titles and the brief descriptions in this list to help choose a database, then click a specific title to start your search. Sometimes, you can determine the focus of a database from its title. For example, we have two databases with criminal justice in the title. But another database that is useful for criminal justice and legal research is Nexus Uni, seen here. If you don't read its description, you might overlook it because its title isn't specific to the field of criminal justice. So definitely look at both the titles and the descriptions to help you determine which databases to use for your research. It's always a good idea when you start a class to go through the database list and find the ones that may work for you. Choosing a database can be hard at first, but you will find that the process gets easier as you often return to the same databases from one assignment to the next. You can also check out a research guide related to your program to find suggestions for individual databases to search. You can find the CSES research guides at the bottom of the library homepage, and they are often linked within your courses. Each CSES research guide has a similar layout with section tabs at the top. Click the Find Articles tab in your program's guide for a list of suggested databases to search, video tutorials which show you how to search in the library, and more. The other section tabs at the top of a research guide show you how to search for ebooks, give tips on evaluating web resources and website suggestions, and provide links to APA resources from the CSU Success Center. The research guides are loaded with lots of resources to help you successfully find information in the library and beyond. So be sure and get to know the one related to your program well. Now let's move on to a few of my top search strategies. These search tips will work in both individual database searches and in the new Discovery search box. Here's my first tip for you. Always choose the Advanced Search option. Most of our databases default to the Advanced Search page, but if not, always choose it. So whenever I share this tip, I have a lot of people ask me, why should I choose Advanced Search? I don't really feel like an advanced searcher. Well, my answer is this. Even if you don't feel like an advanced searcher, the Advanced Search screen puts you in control of what you're looking for. On this screen, there are many more options than on the basic search screen. Here, for example, is the main search screen for the ABI Inform Collection database, a great place to conduct research for most of the CSES programs. And this database is already set to Advanced Search. Notice that there are multiple search boxes instead of just one, and having multiple boxes like this gives us much more freedom to combine keywords and key phrases. So instead of throwing your entire research topic into one search box in a big jumble, break your topic up. This will make it easier to adjust your search terms as you proceed with your search. The Advanced Search screen also provides you with various ways to limit your search below the search boxes. And you can use these limiters to refine your search so that you can narrow down your results to include only items that are relevant for your needs. Here, for example, you can see that the full text box is checked, and this is very important because it will limit your search to only articles that you can access in full online. Right beside that is the peer-reviewed limiter, and if you check that box, then your search will only pull in peer-reviewed or scholarly articles if those are required for your assignment. Let's take a moment to talk about what peer-reviewed articles are, since they are often required for your assignments. Peer-reviewed articles are published in scholarly journals that use the peer review process to select articles for publication. These articles are written by subject experts and reviewed by several other experts in the field before publication in order to ensure the article's quality. Because of the rigorous process that peer-reviewed articles go through, they are considered very reliable sources. Just a little side note, there are three main types of publications: popular, scholarly, and trade. Popular publications are written by journalists for the general public. Scholarly publications are written by and for experts in their fields, and trade publications are written by and for professionals in their fields. Depending on your course assignments, you may have to reference articles from these different types of publications. Take a look at our Publication Types Guide for more information on popular, scholarly, and trade publications. Now let's go back to the ABI Informed Collection Database's Advanced Search screen and take a look at some more limiters. You can also limit by date here if you are looking for current information. Below the publication date, notice that you can limit by source type if you are looking for a specific kind of resource like a report. And there are more options not pictured here as well, so take the time to explore this page fully. Also, don't ignore the options near the top of the page. Here you can search by publication to determine whether a specific source, like the journal Information and Computer Security, can be found in a database. And the thesaurus option can be helpful if you are looking for variations on your keywords or key phrases. Knowing what your options are will help you save time and avoid frustration, so take time to explore your options on the Advanced Search screen before you hit Search. And remember that no matter what database you choose, similar options should be available to you. Most of our databases contain these same advanced search options, and they should help you feel a bit more in control even if you end up searching in an unfamiliar database. Search tip number 2. Use keywords and key phrases that appear in your assignments. Many of your assignments will start with a writing prompt or a research question, but you will want to avoid simply cutting and pasting your assignment prompt or question into the search box. Instead, you will want to boil your search down to a few key concepts. Here we are on the Advanced Search screen for the International Security and Counterterrorism Reference Center database. This is a great database to use if you are in the Homeland Security and Fire Science programs. Our assignment here reads, locate an article in the library that examines the benefits of residential fire sprinklers. From this question, we could pull out the key concepts residential and fire sprinklers. Also, notice that I've put the phrase fire sprinklers in quotation marks, and you'll always want to do this whenever you search for phrases that are 2 or more words long. Using quotation marks in this way tells the database to treat a key phrase as a complete unit instead of searching for the individual words by themselves, and this practice can be very helpful in focusing your search. However, the one thing you have to remember about using quotation marks around phrases is that doing this will limit your search to exact matches, so double-check to make sure that your spelling and any punctuation you use is correct between those quotation marks. Search tip number 3. Combine your keywords or phrases with and or in all caps. The and is set as the default connector that joins individual search lines, but you can always change it if it suits your purpose. Here's how the two connectors are different. And searches for both your terms together, for this and that. Connecting your search terms with and will narrow your search and give you fewer results than if you searched your keywords separately, but they will be more focused because they will contain both concepts. To broaden your search, experiment with the or connector to search for both keywords or key phrases separately but simultaneously. And I use this connector a lot to combine synonyms or related terms to pull in more results than I would get with either one separately. With this search, I will retrieve articles that mention both of these phrases, but I will also retrieve articles that only mention one of them, so I'm casting a wider net here. To sum up, and narrows your search to focus on everything at once, or expands your search by looking for your connected keywords together as well as separately. Tip number 4. Set specific search field limits. Next to each search box, you will see a search field box. Click on the box to bring up a list of search field options. There are quite a few options here, but we will just focus on some specific ones for now. The one I use the most is this one, subject terms. If a keyword is mentioned in the subject terms, then it is likely to be an important concept within a particular article, especially when you have a pretty common word. Here are some others that you should experiment with. Abstract is also one I choose. A keyword that shows up in the abstract, or summary, is usually a clue to its importance. And items such as author, title, and publication name show up in article citations, so they are often useful for title searches. There is also a person limiter, but how do you know which to choose between author or person? Well, if you're looking for something by someone, choose author. But if you're looking for information about someone, choose person. And the document title limiter is a good one to try if you are searching for a specific article title. Another way to broaden your search is to use synonyms or variations of your keywords or phrases. And you can use the OR connector that we discussed a few slides back to facilitate this. So let's take a look at a search that really takes advantage of this search tip. In fact, I've used it here in every line. Here we are in the Criminal Justice Database, which is the largest database in the library for criminal justice research. In line 1, I combined police or law enforcement, with quotation marks around the phrase at the end. In line 2, television or movies or motion pictures. Line 3 reads women or females. The benefit of trying synonyms or variations, of course, is that you can very quickly cast a wide net. Different writers will use different words and phrases, so this practice allows you to retrieve many more relevant results. However, using too many synonyms at once can backfire. This particular search, with no other limits set, will retrieve over 6,000 results in just this one database. So definitely use it sparingly, and I probably wouldn't recommend using it in every line of a single search. But this is a helpful tip to try when you are looking for information on a more obscure concept. While we're talking about search results, let's take a moment to discuss evaluating sources for your assignments. In other words, how do you know which sources are appropriate to use for your assignments? First, refer back to your assignment instructions and review the assignment's requirements. Does your assignment require specific types of sources, such as scholarly or peer-reviewed sources? Do the articles you have retrieved match your assignment topic? Next, examine your results list to identify and select information that possesses the following characteristics. Your information should come from a suitable, credible source. We have resources to help you determine credibility in our video tutorial section, including a brief video tutorial on evaluating resources for credibility. And look for our checklist on evaluating websites to help you evaluate websites as research sources. Your information should also support your writing purpose, and it should meet all the criteria listed in your assignment. My last tip is probably the most important one. Get prepared and stay prepared throughout the process. Before you start your search, make sure you understand what kind of information you need to complete your assignment. Check to see if a specific topic or type of information is assigned. Now is a good time to reach out to your professor if you have questions about the assignment's requirements. Once you understand what topic you are to research, make a list. Writer's block is a real concept, and so is researcher's block. So before you sit down in front of an empty search box on your computer screen, brainstorm potential keywords and key phrases and synonyms before you start searching. Doing this can really make or break your search. As you keep yourself on track, keep track of what works. After you try out the keywords and key phrases on your list, circle the ones that work and cross out the ones that don't. Keeping track of your progress in this way will help you avoid making the same mistakes the next time you sit down to continue your search. Also, watch for and write down new keywords and key phrases. When you're looking at your results list, look at the titles and the subjects that might pop up under the titles. Do you see any keywords or key phrases that you should try? Look for more specific or unique words and phrases to add to your list. I get a lot of really good ideas that help my search by doing this. Finally, develop a strategy that will help you organize the resources you find. Taking the time to set this up will save you time and frustration in the long run. You have many options for retrieval, such as saving your articles inside a database folder or emailing them to yourself from within a database. Be aware, though, that saving articles permanently to a database folder does require a database account, which is separate from your school account. Whatever method you choose, Don't forget to record the publication information you will need to create your reference citations. While many of our databases do offer an APA cite option, the citations that they generate are not always correct, so please do get in the habit of checking the Writing Center's APA reference examples when you are finalizing your reference list. So before we wrap up, I have just a few more places I'd like to point out on our library homepage for you to explore. Two other helpful sections of the library homepage are these two: Helpful Library Tools and Video Tutorials. If you are new to the program, or if you are unfamiliar with searching library databases, the tutorials and guides designed by CSU librarians will help you get started quickly. Finally, if you don't know which database to use, or if you've tried all the search tips from above with no success, please reach out to us and ask a librarian. I work with some very knowledgeable librarians, and I've learned from experience how bouncing ideas off another person can help tremendously. I have spent many hours searching our library databases, and I still ask my fellow librarians for suggestions on search tips and keywords every single day. So definitely reach out to us. We are happy to help. We are available via phone and email during CSU business hours, and chat is available at all times. So do reach out to us if you have questions, and please let us know how we can help make your library experience the best it can be.